Well, hey guys, welcome to another episode of Rimshots with Sean right here on Eastlink Community TV, and we're at the Wooden Monkey. I'm here with Lil MacPherson. You guys know her, you guys love her. We just had some wonderful food here, so thank you for doing this.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
So we're here on a Thursday. You've been trying some new stuff, the live music. This is our third time I think that we've come down and see some live stuff. How's that going?
It's going really well. I love live music. I want to support live music. Everything changes when you have live music in a restaurant. Everything just changes. So I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and we decided to do Thursday night jazz, and it's really going well. It's one of our busiest nights.
So just to clear something up, you'll recognize the name MacPherson, and it's a good MacPherson. It's so Jeff, who is a huge part of Barstools and Band Talk. When we first started, Jeff provided a lot of creative content. This is Jeff's sister.
Yes.
So
right.
and sorry, ladies, he's off the market now. The handsome Josh Brolin fellow, the wonderful Jerry, who's doing some work with us too.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the Monkey. I mean, you guys started over in Halifax in the old. That used to be C-Mark. That used to be in that place.
That was my gosh. Well, we were in the old Carlton.
Yes.
And it was the old jury room, I think.
Yep.
So that was 20 years ago. We're in our 20th anniversary. But the Wooden Monkey basically started because I was a little nervous. So nice to have customers.
It's all good.
It's all good. So 20 years ago, we basically got hit with a Hurricane Juan, that scared the crap out of me. I'm allowed to say that. And just really, I started to look into how much food security we have in Nova Scotia, thinking about what I'm going to feed my own kids, because it was, my kids were young too. And I found out that the story was really terrible and unsustainable and just a terrible business model. So I decided to open a restaurant that supported farmers and try to get the whole infrastructures of farming back. We got about 3 days of food left. 3 days of food left. If we were to get cut off from the rest of the world, like hurricanes and 9/11 and God knows what else is going on in the world. So we have to do this as Nova Scotians to make sure we get something to eat. We got lots of drinks and we got food, and we have to ramp it up. So that's what the whole monkey was about.
So people take that for granted because we went to Cuba in April, and I mean, on a resort. I mean, the food's not amazing. It's good, right? But I mean, but you see these people and they're literally handing plantains to the tourists. So people here don't really understand what food insecurity is. Now they will now, obviously, because of prices and stuff going up. But you're big on local. You're big on using local people and local farmers and that type of thing. And you've done that since the beginning, correct?
Absolutely. Yep. And the thing is, people are confused, and it's funny because I actually was involved in a Cuban delegation that they came up and we talked about food security, because on the world stage, everybody was looking at Pico and Cuba.
Right.
It's a great story, but people say, oh, I got food security. I got my freezer full of Costco and all kinds of frozen stuff, but that's not food security. That's food security for them, for a little bit, for themselves. Right. Food security is making sure that all Nova Scotians have food available in the province no matter what. So we need to grow our own carrots and our own potatoes and our own beets and eat our own meat and our pork, and really, we used to have a lot of canning products and slaughtering houses and processing plants. We lost them all. So how shaky as the world is now, we wait for 90% of our grocery bill to come from away in. It's crazy. So it's a whole of economy. It's a whole of a local economy. We can fill up with jobs. And
so what? You're hearing all this stuff about the tariffs that may or may not. I mean, and it's, to me right now, I think it's just a lot of chest pumping. We're not going to get political here, but why do you think it is that we give up so much real estate in terms of taking care of our own through our own businesses? Like, why is that? Because to me, it just seems. I mean, we're a prime province for farming.
Yep.
Right outside of Halifax, there's all kinds of farmland. Now the urban sprawl is starting to take place a little bit more. Yep. But why do you think that's happened over the last 15, 20 years?
I think it just happened. We didn't notice it. It just happened. I think big business came in, and a lot of rich people came over, and they took over. And they kind of, you have if you have a Walmart that comes in, what it does is everybody goes to Walmart because it's better prices, because of where they're buying things and making things, and so you don't go to your home hardware, you don't go to your flour place, you don't go to your bakery, you don't go to all the small little local economies that we had that are employing your kids, and they all just go away. So it really ruins community. We are really strong when we're buying our local economy, we're buying our local products. It's a wonderful thing. we have to do it, especially food. We have no choice.
Right.
We absolutely, if we want our kids to have any food in the future, we absolutely have to support, and it's really good, high quality. Beef is fantastic. Happy bird.
We got them at the right time. We're not going to sing, but well, because one of the things, I mean, I remember the first time, and I know Christine, your partner, I've known her for years. And I remember the first time I heard about the wooden monkey, and I had this kind of, it was almost like organic food.
Sure.
And I was just like, I'm going to go there, and I'm the guy that doesn't like carrot cake.
Yeah.
So what am I going to get? And then I come here, and the food's lights out. And I think, did you guys have a little bit of maybe the messaging that you had to go through with people to say, hey, we're a normal restaurant, we just support local?
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you brought that up, because we're still trying to get that message. Like, people think that we're like this kind of flaky organic restaurant that's eating shoots and roots, and we're going to eat a piece of birch bark. I mean, like, I'm like, no, come on in. But really, it's not. I don't say we're a health restaurant at all. We're a restaurant that buys from healthy food systems,
right.
Healthy cows, healthy our chickens are all pasture raised. So we buy from the healthy animals,
right.
and good quality ingredients. So, all our stuffs are, organic grains, and we don't have any white sugar, and we take care of you. We want to keep our customers alive and well, so you'll come in more.
Awesome.
That kind of
We're
stuff.
going to take our first break here on Eastlink Community TV, and we're back after this.
Okay, great.
Welcome back to Rimshots with Sean right here on Eastlink TV after Friday Night Hockey. I sometimes forget that. It's a big night here in Eastlink with the hockey. Tackle something a little bit different. So, refresh my memory, you guys have the Monkey in Halifax,
Mm-hmm.
and they decide that they are going to build a trade.
Oh!
And I know Mike Campbell at the Carlton.
Yep.
I know you went through it. We'll talk about that for a second, because really the impression I got is the city didn't really care what was happening with business.
At all.
Well, and I'll take it a step further. I don't think the city ever cares about what happens with business, in my personal opinion.
At all.
Right.
I totally agree. That was a huge awakening for us. I knew that we didn't have any help anyway, but it was absolutely a really awful thing. I mean, for 5 years, they basically, built this whole. First, they tear down the Chronicle Herald, right, which was unbelievable, and then they built this huge building. And my pitch was like, if you're going to put in something to grow the economy, you can't take down a healthy economy around it.
Right.
And they were taking down a healthy economy. There was a lot of people that lost their businesses that were very successful, doing really well, and there's just no way you can't have a fence with dirt and 20 idling cement trucks outside your door for it was crazy.
So here's my annoyance with it too, is that now you get Argyle Street, and HRM is basically patting themselves on their back for this entertainment district. But in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, I'm in the music business. Sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's, to me, it's this is what we waited for. Like, I just don't get what the end game was, and to put businesses in apparel, and you guys tried to go back and get some compensation, and it didn't work out, correct?
Right. We had a class action lawsuit.
Right.
And strangely, at the same time, I was running for mayor. I don't know if you remember that.
Well, yeah, I do.
It was kind of a totally not good timing.
Right.
But I said, I'm not scared. I was really sticking out for small businesses. Yeah. But I found out a lot of things, because when I ran for mayor, I found out a lot of information. People were coming to me and telling me. But one of the most disturbing things that I found out, first of all, they didn't have a construction mitigation plan for the city. So myself and a few other businesses got together and helped HRM and us do a construction mitigation plan. Like, what do you do when there's a construction in front of you? Make sure there's proper hoarding. Make sure you don't empty your porta potties during lunch.
Right.
Really basic stuff. So, but what I found out, when they closed the street down, which they did many, many times, they shut the street down. Of course, we're like empty. You can't get into the building. We got customers crawling over dirt and then through trucks, and chefs calling me and saying, "How do we get in the Monkey? I can't. There's 2 boards. Okay, we'll take." It was insane. Explosions, and we lose power, and major stuff going next to us. I found out that in order for them to do that, they have to pay the city. They have to pay a disruption fee of $100,000 a day.
So the city gets back.
So the city gets $100,000 for a disruption fee, but we're being disrupted, and they kept it. And I said, look, and during the mitigation plan, I said, you should at least give us all $2,000. $3,000 for lunch. Give us something, but don't keep it all. And make sure that mitigation, that 100 grand, goes into the community that is disrupting. I'm like, where's that money? These are the questions that I asked and found out. I mean, it's really, I'm sorry to say, but they really don't care and give too much thought to what happens to small businesses, what happens to a home, somebody that has a big construction in front of them. I was saying it should be good news. It should be like, oh my gosh, we got construction coming in front of us. The city's going to take care of us. Great mitigation plan. It's so exciting. We need a grocery store. We need an apartment building, and they're taking care of everybody. It should be an exciting good news, but it's not. It's fear. You're terrified, and it's amazing we made it. Amazing. I mean, our customers were literally crawling over tractors, I swear, and getting in there. And we used to have this fun thing where the explosion's gonna happen, and the kids would run to the window and hear beep 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 boom,
And Mike Campbell he was very open in the media about the fact that he almost lost his house. Because he was running the Carlton at the time. That to me is astounding because little things like parking. I was taking my gear out on a Sunday and I had a bylaw enforcement officer who was off duty but drove by and he was trying to give me a parking ticket on a Sunday.
Oh God!
And I'm like, come on, guys, and little things like, well, you're not parked in a loading zone. Well, I'm loading. It doesn't matter. Like their policies just seem very strange. And so you learned that from running for mayor. You didn't win. Mike obviously won. Love you, Mike. But anyway, but did you take anything out of that I guess made you a better business person, or did you learn some things that made you more mad? Or
well, I learned that I had a lot of courage because it really took a lot of courage. I was really like, what have I got myself into? But I was just really, I saw a better city. I saw a better vision, and it just wasn't happening. And I love Mike, and we're good friends. But I just wanted somebody to challenge him, and we wrote this whole green platform before that he was mayor, and it wasn't really happening. So I'm like, I want a green platform where climate change and small businesses was a big part for me. And I saw it was just horrendous, the stuff when the Dark Side Cafe happened. I don't know if you remember that whole story. It's called the Dark Side Cafe. That was absolutely the most horrendous story I've ever heard in my life. And that was just a little cafe. 2 people opened a cafe down Lower Dartmouth. Should have been awarded for opening a cafe down there.
Right.
Nothing down there, and basically the city put them out of business. The
I
city
do
shut
remember
them down.
That. Bylaws and different sorts
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal, and the story is outrageous. So I was really batting out hard and talking about that all the time, and it was just shutting down the economy. I have no idea.
And I find, and maybe again, outside looking in, but I know some people on the council, and to me, staff makes a lot of the decisions and they try to convince council to vote for them. And so the process just seems to get fractured and weird and strange and all kinds of stuff like that. And, as somebody who works in a business that they try to tout for tourism, they don't do a heck of a lot to really help. Fair statement?
No, they don't. They don't. I mean, when we were going through the whole convention center, Wayne Mason never came to see us once. Sorry, but he just didn't come to see us once.
Right.
We had no help from everybody, and I just really think that they don't realize that the small business community in this country are the ones that are running the country.
Right.
We are the big employers, small, medium-sized businesses. We are the tax collectors, not tax takers.
Right.
We are the team. And it's like they're missing they're missing this huge economy.
Right.
And I've even talked to great economists in this country. I have a good friend, Mark Anelski. He's one of the best economists in the world, I think. Wrote the book, The Economics of Happiness, and him and I have a lot of conversations. He said, "You're right. They're missing this."
Yeah.
So if they really grab the whole of, like I see when they're doing the Cogswell Tower right there, the Cogswell interchange.
Yeah.
When I drive down there yesterday, I said to my friend, "Look at this lane. I wonder what's going to happen here." I would love to see local lanes. Let's have a local lane street. This is the local lane and have that whole lane, all local businesses, not chains or everywhere, but let's all have a local lane, and maybe it'll be like a lotto or something where it's like, you know what, wouldn't that be cool? And you drive down, like every business here is locally owned.
We're going to hold that thought.
Okay.
We're going to come back right after this. Welcome back to Rimshots with Sean right here on Eastlink TV after Friday Night Hockey here with Lil MacPherson, the Wooden Monkey. And we, full disclosure, we had a little faux pas, so we're going to relive the moment. Tell everybody about the Rolling Stones concert and what took place. An amazing story.
It's so great. I felt like I won the musical lotto, and so did my brother Jeff. So they were all here, of course, for the concert, and they came to eat the Wood Monkeys. So I got a call, and I wasn't at work at the moment, but they said, you better get your butt in here because Rolling Stones just made a reservation and coming in to eat. And I'm like, we don't make reservations. Yes, we do. This is Stones, right? So I came in, and I literally parked my car out front. It was a full restaurant, and they're like, oh, they're up there in the restaurant. So I get, I'm sitting there, and my sister said, have a shot of tequila or something. You got to go talk to them. I said, I know, but the Stones, like it's a hard table to go up to. So I had a shot of tequila, and I went up to the table, and I said, just want to welcome you guys here. I know who you are. I know you don't know who I am, but I'm Lil MacPherson, the owners of the restaurant. And then I started giving them basically a lecture about food. Well, we're doing local food, and it's really important. And I know the staff are going, are you kidding me? She's freaking lecturing the Stones on food. And Joe Woods was really like, oh, I love it. That's why we're here. And she was great. So I sat and lectured them for 20 minutes, talking to them really. And then Ronnie Wood says, well, Lil, if you're not doing anything tomorrow and get work off, you want to go to the concert? So I was like, well, yeah, I was going to do my hair, but I was going to wash it, but that's okay. I'll come to the concert. So got tickets to go to the concert. I phoned my brother Jeff. I know I was going to my brother Jeff because we had lost my brother Jim a couple years ago. So Jeff's a huge Stones fan. He's just going to not believe this. So, and he wasn't going. He had no tickets. I didn't have tickets. So got our tickets, and I said to the bodyguard, when we got our tickets, I said, well, I want to bring them something. It was a VIP tickets, and I said, maybe I'll bring them a chocolate tofu pie. And he said, no, we like the blue pie. Bring the blue pie. I said, the blue pie, the blueberry pie. So it rained that day so hard, I wrapped the blueberry pie up in 9,000 bags and brought it up the armories. So we walk in the backstage, and it's like, Alice Cooper and Trailer Park Boys, and everybody's there, but no Stones. So I'm like, okay, they're in their own room back there. So I walk up to where the bouncer is, and I know they're back there. And I said, can I go back there? I know Joe, they're my restaurant. I want to give him the pie. And he's like, no, go away. And I was like, yeah, but no. So I said, okay, well, I sat down. And then out of the blue, I was talking to Mike Clapberg, and Joe Woods come flying out. She goes, oh, Lil, nice to see you. Come over, she's taking me over to show her new organic makeup line. And I'm like, sorry, Mike, I got to go talk to, the Woods, Ronnie Woods' wife. Anyway, so I said, oh, here's the pie. So she takes the pie and take it back. And I thought we didn't get to see the Stones, but got to see Joe. It was awesome. We sit back down. And all of a sudden, she comes flying out. And she's like, Lil, grab your brother. Come here. Okay, here's your camera. You got to come see this. So I'm like, okay, where we going now? So she takes me right by the bouncer that was telling me, like, no. And I was like, I'm going in. No hair told you. So we were laughing. He was kind of gave me a look and said, we don't know where we're going. And curtains go back. And there's all these kind of cool blankets everywhere on the windows. And we come back and we're like backstage Rolling Stones. I mean, there was no one there. I turned around to my brother and I said, don't pass out. Because I thought, he's going to pass out.
It's about right, too, yeah.
Because he should. I mean, it was like, I was like, oh, and there I look across and there's, Keith Richards pouring himself a drink. And Ronnie Woods comes and says, hey, the monkey lady's here. And he has his knees go out. And I went, ooh, the monkey lady. He gave me that handle. That's the monkey lady. And he says, oh, and I forgot this because I say the story, but then when Jeff tells the story, I forgot that he came over and kissed me on the lips, by the way. He said, Lily, come over and kiss you. I'm like, oh, that's right, I forgot he kissed me. Come here, monkey lady. And then he says, Keith, come over here and meet a monkey lady. I was like, he introduced me. It was insane. So Keith comes over and he's making fun of organic food. He's throwing his ice cube in the air and getting into his glass. And we were joking. And then Joe says, and then Ronnie Woods comes up and he's eating the pie. Like he's eating the pie. He's got a big smile on his face. And I see all his blue over his mouth. And then Charlie Watts, who I'm a drummer. Charlie Watts comes up. I'm like, oh my God, Charlie Watts. And me and Jeff were just sitting there. And I said, Charlie, how do you like my pie? He just gives me this big smile, right? All blue. You don't eat blueberry pie. I was like, okay, you guys got to brush your teeth before you go on stage. I'm serious. And they're like, what? I'm like, no, you got to brush your teeth. You got to brush your teeth. Look in the mirror, and I'm telling the Stones to brush your teeth, So anyway, we get this. Joe says, let's get a picture. Joe, let's get a picture. So Joe took the picture because there was nobody else back there. There was nobody, just us. And I don't know where I don't know where Mick was. He was somewhere else. But I had the boys, and it was just this picture. And it was just like smile, click. And it's like, and it made front page in the paper. And Joe put me in her book. She wrote a whole book. And they traveled all over the world, different restaurants. I'm the only restaurant she mentioned in the book. Lil MacPherson, Followed Her Dream, opened an organic local restaurant.
Incredible.
Unreal.
And the look on Jeff's face, and like I didn't really know Jeff that well. I mean, you guys live right down the street from me.
Yeah.
Jeff took an amazing picture of my mother's house, and it was so funny because he sent it to me, and I sent it to her, and she's like, "Is he trying to case my place out? What's going on?" It was hilarious. I'm like, "No." And there's like this beautiful rainbow that's going over, and that was where all my bands practiced.
Oh my
so Jeff,
God.
he had a wicked capture. But when we first started Barstools, Jeff wouldn't leave the house. He would not leave the house because of COVID and all that stuff. And I remember going to his house, and I'm like, "You're coming out with us tonight?" I can't. I remember grabbing him, and you asked me, we're looking in the mirror. I said, "Look at that friggin' handsome." I'm not talking about me. I call him Josh Brolin. I said, "Get your friggin' clothes on. We're going out." And Jeff's just he goes from that to pouring water over himself on a beach down in Lawrencetown. So, I mean, just to see that picture, Jeff, is quite amazing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
And he and Jerry met at the Side Hustle show at Monty's, which is amazing. We got to wrap this up, but tell people how they find you, how they get down here, all about how they visit you.
I'm my host. No, down at the Wooden Monkey in Dartmouth. We're right over the ferry terminal, already landing. We got music every Thursday night. We've got great food. Come on down, and we have a wonderful location in Halifax on Grafton Street. We're open at 11:30 every day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Well, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you for doing this. It's long overdue. We finally get it done. And we're going to have an announcement about the Wood Monkey and something we can't say on this. But thanks for tuning in. Like, share, visit us, and we'll see you next week on Eastlink TV.
Great.